If you are over 60 and often experience numbness, cold hands or feet, or an uncomfortable tingling sensation that comes and goes, this is a sign you should not take lightly. Many people think this is just a normal part of aging. Getting older means this is to be expected. But the truth is, these symptoms are not harmless. They are warnings that blood is circulating poorly in your body. When circulation weakens, oxygen and nutrients have difficulty reaching the tissues that need them. Over time, this leads to persistent pain, increasing weakness, memory decline, and the loss of independence, something many older adults fear most. What makes poor circulation dangerous is that it progresses very quietly. It does not happen suddenly, but slowly over the years, until simple activities like standing up, walking, or maintaining balance become difficult. But here is what you need to know. Poor circulation after the age of 60 is not something that cannot be changed. In many cases, it can be improved and even reversed if you address the real cause instead of simply masking the symptoms. In this video, I will share a simple, doctor-approved approach that focuses on 2 essential nutrients that help support blood vessels and improve circulation, even if you are already over 60 years old. Before talking about solutions, we need to clearly understand one important thing. What truly causes poor circulation after the age of 60? The root cause of declining circulation after age 60. Why blood no longer flows as smoothly as before. To truly improve circulation, we need to look inside the blood vessels, not just at the outward symptoms. Most circulation problems in people over 60 do not begin with major blockages. The main cause lies in the inner lining of the blood vessels, called the endothelium. When we are younger, the endothelium is smooth and flexible, allowing blood vessels to expand and contract easily so blood flows evenly throughout the body. Over time, especially after age 60, chronic inflammation, toxins, and long-term dietary habits accumulate and cause this lining to become stiff and less elastic. This does not immediately cause a blockage, but it reduces the blood vessel's natural ability to dilate. As a result, blood flow slows down, particularly in the smallest vessels. These small vessels supply the feet, fingers, and the brain. When they do not receive enough blood, you begin to feel coldness, numbness, weakness, and reduced sensation. This is a sign that tissues are lacking oxygen and nutrients, not just a simple sensory issue. The good news is, this type of damage can be improved. When the endothelium is properly supported, blood vessels can become more flexible again, and circulation can improve at its root. At this point, the right nutrients become very important, because certain factors directly affect the stiffness and weakening of blood vessels. In the next section, we will talk about the first key nutrient that helps restore blood vessel flexibility and improve circulation from the inside. Key nutrient number 1. The factor that determines blood vessel flexibility. Once we understand that poor circulation after age 60 originates from the weakening of the blood vessel lining, the next question is, what directly affects this problem? One very important nutrient that is often overlooked in older adults is vitamin K2, especially the MK7 form. Many people only associate vitamin K with blood clotting. However, vitamin K2 has a different role, and it is extremely important for blood vessel health. To understand this, we need to look at calcium. Calcium is essential for strong bones, but when the endothelial lining of blood vessels is damaged, calcium tends to deposit in the wrong places, especially within the vessel walls. Over time, this buildup causes blood vessels to become stiff, less elastic, and harder to expand. The vessels are no longer soft and flexible as before, but instead become rigid and slow to respond. Vitamin K2 acts as a calcium regulator. It helps remove calcium from the vessel walls and directs it to where it belongs, such as the bones and teeth. When excess calcium is cleared away, blood vessels gradually become more flexible again. Their ability to expand and contract improves, and blood flow becomes better, especially to the feet and fingers. What must be emphasized is this. Vitamin K2 does not only reduce outward discomfort, it directly targets the underlying cause of age-related vessel stiffness. In many people over 60, K2 deficiency develops quietly over many years without being noticed. This is one of the common causes of poor circulation in older age. However, softening and cleaning the blood vessels alone is not enough. For blood to flow smoothly, blood vessels also need another factor that helps them expand at the right time. In the next section, we will talk about the second nutrient, the factor that helps blood vessels relax and allows blood to circulate more easily. Key nutrient number 2, the factor that helps blood vessels expand and blood flow more easily. After blood vessels become less stiff and more flexible, the next question is, what actually helps blood vessels open so blood can flow faster and more evenly? The answer is vitamin D3. Many people think vitamin D3 is only related to bones, but in reality, it plays a very important role in the circulatory system. Vitamin D3 does not function like a typical vitamin. In the body, it acts more like a hormone and directly affects the endothelial lining of blood vessels. When vitamin D3 levels are sufficient, the body produces more nitric oxide. This compound helps blood vessels dilate naturally, reduces resistance, and allows blood to flow more easily. On the other hand, when vitamin D3 is deficient, a condition very common in people over 60, nitric oxide production decreases. Blood vessels constrict, blood flow slows down, and pressure inside the vessels increases. This is why many older adults experience cold hands and feet, heavy legs, and easy fatigue. In addition, vitamin D3 helps regulate chronic inflammation. Long-term inflammation damages the inner lining of blood vessels. When vitamin D3 levels are adequate, blood vessels are better able to protect themselves over time. When combined, one nutrient helps blood vessels become softer and more flexible. The other helps blood vessels dilate at the right time. This combination leads to a clear improvement in circulation, especially in the feet, lower legs, and hands. However, for these two nutrients to work at their best, the body still needs a supportive foundation from daily diet and lifestyle habits. In the next section, we will talk about nutrition and foods that help create the best conditions for these two key nutrients to be effective. The nutritional foundation that supports circulation. Why the two key nutrients only work well when the body has the right environment. The two core nutrients only work effectively when the internal environment of the body is suitable. If the nutritional foundation is poor, even taking the right nutrients may not create a noticeable difference. Some vitamins that support circulation can come from natural foods. In particular, traditional and fermented foods tend to be richer in nutrients that benefit blood vessels than the modern diet. In addition, aged dairy products and natural fats from pasture-raised animals also contribute to supporting vascular health. For vitamin D, the best natural source is sunlight. However, after the age of 60, the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D decreases significantly. Limited sun exposure or cold weather causes many people to fall short of the amount needed. In these cases, fatty fish and fortified foods only play a supportive role and are often not sufficient on their own. Besides vitamins, the body also needs raw materials to produce nitric oxide, the compound that helps blood vessels dilate naturally. These materials come from foods rich in natural nitrates. Dark green vegetables and deep red root vegetables provide an important foundation for this process. Once in the body, they help blood vessels relax and support more even blood flow. One important point to note is this: these foods do not replace the core nutrients. They simply help them work more effectively. When the nutritional foundation is appropriate, blood vessels respond better, circulation improves more steadily, and feelings of coldness or numbness in the hands and feet gradually decrease. However, nutrition alone is still not enough. Many people continue to have poor circulation simply because they overlook very basic daily habits. In the next section, we will talk about those fundamental habits that are often ignored, but can either slow down or improve blood circulation every day. Basic habits that determine the speed of blood circulation. Why very simple things can make a big difference. Even when the right nutrients are taken and the diet is balanced, circulation can still improve slowly if basic daily habits are missing. The most important factor that is often overlooked is water. Blood is mostly water. When the body is dehydrated, blood becomes thicker, flows more slowly, and puts extra strain on the heart and blood vessels. Even mild dehydration is enough to make the hands and feet feel colder and heavier. In people over 60, the sensation of thirst is reduced, so drinking too little water is very common. Drinking water steadily throughout the day helps keep blood thinner and allows it to circulate more easily. The second factor is light movement. You do not need intense exercise. Small but regular movements are what matter most. When you stand up or walk, the leg muscles act like a secondary pump, helping push blood from the legs back toward the heart. This helps reduce blood pooling, leg swelling, and heaviness around the ankles. Sitting for long periods causes blood to settle in the lower limbs. Simply standing up and moving briefly, repeated several times a day, helps the circulatory system function better. These habits are very simple, but when practiced consistently, they provide strong support for blood vessels and help nutrients work more effectively. However, in some people, long-term poor circulation can lead to deeper problems, especially affecting the nerves. In the next section, we will talk about the connection between poor circulation and nerve pain or tingling, and why an additional support approach may be needed. When poor circulation affects the peripheral nerves, why numbness, burning, and pain are not just sensations. When poor circulation persists over time, its effects go beyond coldness or heaviness in the hands and feet. The peripheral nerves are the system most clearly affected. These nerves depend on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients from tiny capillaries. When blood does not reach them adequately, nerve cells become undernourished, function poorly, and are gradually damaged. At this point, the sensation is no longer just numbness. You may feel burning, tingling, sharp pain, or a pins and needles sensation in the hands and feet. These are warning signals from nerves that are lacking oxygen. In many cases, improving circulation alone is not enough to fully relieve these symptoms. Once damage has formed, the nerves need direct support to recover. Therefore, when pain or pronounced tingling is present, it is necessary to consider an additional support approach specifically for the nervous system. This approach helps reduce oxidative stress and supports the restoration of nerve structure from within. The key point to understand is this: good circulation helps nourish the nerves, but nerve recovery requires appropriate intervention. When both approaches are applied together, pain, burning, and tingling usually decrease steadily, rather than only temporarily. However, even when blood vessels and nerves are supported correctly, there are still daily lifestyle mistakes that can quietly reduce the effectiveness of all these efforts. In the next section, we will talk about common mistakes that cause many people to do many things right, yet still see little improvement. Silent mistakes that weaken circulation. Why doing many things right can still lead to poor results. Many people pay attention to diet, take supplements, and change their daily habits, yet circulation still improves very slowly. The reason is often not a lack of solutions, but silent mistakes that reduce effectiveness. The first mistake is chronic stress. When stress continues, the body releases hormones that cause blood vessels to constrict. Even when the right nutrients are taken, the body prioritizes a stress response instead of recovery. The second mistake is misunderstanding fats. Many people cut out almost all fats or use refined oils because they believe these are better for the heart. In reality, a lack of healthy fats makes blood vessels more prone to inflammation and less flexible. The third mistake is not getting enough sleep or having poor quality sleep. During deep sleep, the body repairs the inner lining of blood vessels and balances hormones related to circulation. Interrupted sleep disrupts this process and allows silent inflammation to build up. These three mistakes do not cause obvious effects immediately, but over time they make blood vessels respond more poorly, causing circulation to remain difficult to improve, even when many other things are done correctly. When these limiting factors are identified and corrected, the body becomes ready to respond better to circulation-supporting measures. In the next section, we will talk about advanced supportive factors that help blood vessels dilate more effectively and support heart function once the foundation is in place. Enhanced solutions for circulation, when deeper support for blood vessels and the heart is needed. After improving the foundation and correcting major mistakes, some people still feel that their circulation has not reached the level they expect. In these cases, enhanced supportive factors can make a noticeable difference. The first factor is L-arginine. This is an amino acid the body uses to produce nitric oxide, the compound that naturally dilates blood vessels. When there is enough of this raw material, blood vessels respond more quickly and blood flows more easily. In older adults, the body's ability to produce nitric oxide gradually declines over time. Supplementing with L-arginine can help improve vessel dilation, especially when increased blood flow to the hands and feet is needed. The second factor is coenzyme Q10, CoQ10. CoQ10 is essential for cellular energy production, particularly in the heart muscle. As circulation improves, the heart needs to work efficiently to maintain steady blood flow. In addition, CoQ10 helps protect blood vessel walls from oxidative stress, supporting long-term strength and flexibility of the vessels. In older adults, CoQ10 levels may decline without being noticed, especially in those who have used medications that affect energy metabolism. What should be remembered is this: these enhanced factors do not replace the foundation. They work best only when blood vessels have been properly supported and harmful habits have been brought under control. When used appropriately, they help circulation run more smoothly and reduce unnecessary strain on the heart. And to achieve lasting results, the next step is to organize everything into a clear, easy-to-follow daily routine. In the next section, we will summarize all of this into a simple daily plan that you can apply in a practical and sustainable way. Daily routine to support circulation recovery, a simple structure to help the body respond more effectively. Once the necessary factors have been identified, what matters most is not using more or less, but applying them correctly in daily life. A clear routine helps the body absorb better and avoids confusion. In the morning, provide the foundational support for blood vessels. Taking these with a meal that includes healthy fats helps improve absorption and allows them to start working earlier in the day. During the day, maintain steady hydration. Dividing water intake and drinking it gradually helps keep blood flowing easily, especially when sitting or standing for long periods. At the same time, stand up and move lightly for a short time each hour. These simple movements activate the muscles and help blood return to the heart naturally. Toward the end of the day, when blood tends to pool in the legs, briefly elevating the legs above heart level helps reduce heaviness, swelling, and leg fatigue. Combining this with slow, deep breathing helps the body relax. Before sleep, prioritize adequate and uninterrupted sleep. During deep sleep, the body repairs blood vessels and balances the nervous system. This routine does not require doing too much or making sudden changes. Circulation improves by doing the right things consistently each day. When these habits become natural, the body begins to respond clearly and positively. And at that point, the final important factor is how you view your age and your body's ability to recover. In the next section, we will talk about the role of belief and mindset in maintaining long-term results. Age is not a limit to circulation, why the body can still recover after 60. Age does not mean the body loses its ability to self-regulate and recover. Many older adults accept coldness, numbness, or weakness in the hands and feet as something normal, and gradually learn to live with it. But in many cases, the problem is not that the body has lost its ability. It is that it has not been supported in the right way. When blood vessels are properly cared for, blood can circulate better. When nerves are adequately nourished, uncomfortable sensations can gradually decrease. And when daily habits are adjusted appropriately, circulation can become more stable over time. Improvement does not happen overnight, but if you do the right things consistently, you will notice clear changes: warmer hands and feet, a lighter feeling in the body, and easier, more confident movement. What matters most is not accepting abnormal signs as something you must live with because of age. They are signals telling you it is time to make adjustments. You deserve to feel comfortable, flexible, and in control of your life at any age. Taking care of your circulation today also lays the foundation for long-term health in the future. If you found this video helpful, please click like to support the channel. If you know someone over 60 who is struggling with circulation problems, share this video with them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple, easy to understand, and practical health content for older adults. Thank you for watching.